Broke my heart to feel or to hear that the old pony was gone. It's a piece of American history that is, it's a big part of who we are and like how we came here and everything. And so what first got me involved in the Spanish Mustangs was over at the Sundance Museum, our county museum over in Sundance, the next town over. They had an amazing exhibit there of talking about the history but I was 15, so I didn't really know anything, and so of course I went out and I got myself just a regular Mustang, not knowing anything of it, but further educating, and it took me until I was in my 20s, and it was down in Colorado actually. I was just sitting there talking to Gabriel Moritz at some driveway in the middle of nowhere, Colorado. And I was talking to her about these amazing horses, and she's like, I know where some are. And so those were the first actual horses that I got to see. And so I got reintroduced to them down there, and I had a home for foster children. I had a couple of horses at that situation, and it took me time and time. And like getting into the Spanish Mustang is not an easy thing. If it's easy, it's wrong. That's the main frustration that a lot of people have is like, these horses are very hard. They're a very eccentric group of horses. They don't necessarily fit in every lifestyle. And so I started being able to use my horses. I had adult residential facilities, and I would use the Spanish Mustangs there, not in any certain way, but just so people got to feel true honesty, whether it's just like hauling water down to the horses or something like that. They just got to be around them. Or like some of them weren't even able to do anything, but they were able to be around them, and not a single accident ever happened in any of my homes. And that was, I believe, because we use Spanish Mustangs. And their intuition, their understanding is something that we can rely on in life. And they're an incredibly safe horse in ways. Like, they definitely have the reputation of being crazy, but that's just because we make them crazy. They're such a sensible, as you guys are realizing, there's a certain weirdness to them. They're a sensible creature in a way that many people and horses and everything else are not. And so I'm really happy to be able to rely on that and to share this with everyone. And so, as we all know, the Cayuse Ranch closed down several years ago. And so my thought on that was to basically try to, like, you know, get a little sampling of what was at the Cayuse and preserve these bloodlines, because in 40 years, they're gonna be gone. You know, there are so few left of them around the country that, and you know, people just don't use horses like they used to anymore. So it's kind of a grim situation for them. And so thanks to, you know, when the Cayuse closed down, thanks to local support, Bushland Development basically has been donating land because her father was friends with Father Islam, and she thought that project was really cool. The Spanish Mustang Foundation has been extremely helpful in making it so that we don't run out of supplies. And then first and foremost, you know, a lot of, you know, when all this action started happening, you know, I called around to look for help because I'm just one person and I can't do very much as just one person. And the only person that didn't leave me high and dry after all their promises is Anna. She's the only person that stood by and said, yes, I know you're going way out on a limb, like taking on this huge project all by yourself, and she's the only person that stood by. Everyone else walked away. And so for that, I thank you very much. I'm honored to be able to present these horses to your class, and they may shed peace and joy.
I did it 2 years ago. It was life-changing. It was so amazing. I learned a lot. I learned a lot about myself, was able to help a horse, like a complete win-win situation, but mostly not about me, mostly about being able to help a horse. The benefit is that you get to learn about yourself on the way. Because they get a gentle start with a gentle touch. Nothing is forced. It's a relationship-based. It's mutual respect. And everything's done in a kind manner where the horse is reaching to us and asking us to be with them, and we're not overpowering them with anything that we do.
Would you come back and do it again?
I would stay here if I didn't have to leave today. This has been my happy place all through COVID. This is what I thought about. This was my happy place during COVID. I could not wait to get back.
Anything you want to tell future Mustang Gentlers?
Have a blast, smile, and enjoy every minute because it goes so fast. And it's the best. Good luck to everybody.
I'm crying because he's so awesome and I'm leaving. That's why.
That's it. And why is he awesome?
He's awesome because he picks up. He's an amazing teacher, letting me know when I need to stop, take a breath, and when I need to smile and sing.
Yeah.
And
celebrate. And he's the little fella all the way over there. And they're a perfect match, and size does not matter.
no, I would go hiking with him in the hills. And if I can, I will arrange for that.
So how's this course changed your life?
I'm understanding actually how to listen more. I see the flow in the beauty and the dance that goes back and forth in the dialogue and the communication between, and that's the most important for me. And from there, everything, it develops organically, and you don't have to blow through anything, any barriers. That's what this course, as well as the foundation course, has been allowing me to do, and I'm brand new, so pretty much last.
I don't know what we're going to be looking at. This is the wrong side, so we have to go like that.
And it's all because of Anna. Thank you.
I was going to leave at the beginning of the week, and I didn't, and this is how I feel.
Because you did it!
I did.
Did it? And
Yep.
why were you thinking of leaving?
I just couldn't seem to get myself out of my head and in with the horse.
And you did. You got into your heart.
Yeah.
And you put it all together.
Yes.
And you reprogrammed all the steps, and you started to do the language.
Yes.
And you dialogued, and you created a relationship, so much so that he's looking for you now.
Yeah.
And looking inward for answers.
Or go to someone else.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
What would you say has connected you and Cora the most? Like, what about her and her experience resonates with you and your story?
I feel that we connected a lot through love. And that sounds silly, but it's not. We lost 2 horses back home last month, 3 weeks apart, and I was really nervous that I wasn't going to be able to open up my heart to her. And she's like, yeah, you can. And then I was like, shoot. Thank you. And now, I mean, I'm in love with her. And she's so pretty and alert.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was my huge piece that she helped me through.
Yeah.
In all reality, if you really want to become the best horse person you can, the Mustangs teach you at a different level than our domestic horses. Like, I've been around horses for 33 years now, because it was my birthday the other day. You know, and I've learned a million things from horses, but being here this week, I've had to step it up, and not just a notch. I've had to step it up many notches to be able to prove myself worthy of their attention and their willingness to work.
What was your biggest struggle and your biggest triumph throughout the course?
Haltering Sapphire here. She is very independent, she's a herd leader, right? So giving up her head and her neck was not something she was super willing to do. So I really had to listen to her, give her my full attention, and earn it. And it was hard. You know, and as much as we want to come in here and get that first touch and reach out and sharing breath and have it all be warm and fuzzy, like these horses, they're so wise and they carry so much generational knowledge that you really want to prove yourself worthy with them. So that was a challenge, to be able to like find the balance between, well, I want to come in soft and considerate, and I want to build a relationship, and we have to have trust, right? And for her to keep saying, maybe, you know, and to take 6-7 days to go, okay, you can put a halter on. So it was challenging to find the balance of the softness, and then the, you know what, for your best deal in the world, these are things you have to learn, but doing it kindly and compassionately, right? And not just taking it from them. So it's a fine line to walk.
Yeah. To say the least.
Yeah.
What would be something that you would tell a future person considering the Mustangs course?
If you want to raise your horsemanship game and learn how you can improve yourself to be a better person for the horses in your life, you have to do the Mustangs course. There's just too many life lessons and relationships with these guys that are super special, and you can't get them anywhere else. No. These guys have to be the teachers.
I grew up with like my grandpa, who had no formal horse training, and it was all about like feel and reading the horse, and it was a much more natural way of approaching things. And then worked for a whole bunch of equine therapy programs who were very like forceful and used horses as tools, and horses didn't get a voice in it. And so when I met this coworker that uses ROTH methodologies, it just kind of clicked, like, oh, this is what is meant to happen. It should be a relationship, and horses should get a voice. It just kind of made sense. This horse, I knew walking into this course, is my first ROTH course, that I need to be open, and that that it would be about like emotion and relationship, because that's what I've seen. I didn't expect the horse to see through me quite the way he does. He holds me accountable in ways that I didn't know were possible for a horse. And he has this mix between like serious, I need you to be here and be with me and be exactly in this moment, and there is zero room for anything else. And like mixed with like a lot of playfulness and lightness, as you can see with the bucket. He like pokes at the other horses and pokes at me. It's this, I think I learned more about myself and my ability to stay in the moment, or lack of ability to stay in the moment, than I ever expected coming to a course like this. And I did expect some of that. I think there was this moment when I felt like I couldn't even go back into the pen. And I didn't know what was next. And I knelt down and stuck my head on the pole, and he stopped eating and came down and faced up and just invited me back in. And it was this beautiful reassurance, like he has seemed to do through this course. And also I think the support that I got from strangers in a way that I didn't expect. This is a really, really neat community.
Perfect.
I love her so much. She is very food motivated, like somebody else I know. And she just is a very clear communicator, and she has a serious resting face most of the time. But underneath all of that is just a very willing partner. If you can wake her up and prove that it's worth something doing, then she's like, oh yeah, okay, happy to. As you can see, she also likes to sleep a lot, so I believe that this horse is definitely a part of my soul, and I might cry a little bit. I'm really honored that this horse decided that I was cool enough to hang out with for an entire week and to be able to get so far with her. And I really would like to see her again in life, whatever that looks like.
And who is this handsome gentleman?
This is 14 below. Yet again, the lovely thing about what ROTH always brings me back to is the difference between taking things from them and forcing them versus giving them choice and truly partnering with them. Because a lot of systems out there suggest that you're doing that when you're really not, just because people don't know otherwise. And this is hard. You have to have your own stuff dialed in, your ego set aside, your agenda set aside. He really seems to like people, did dual grooming and things like that. And I think the most lovely thing was watching him interact with other people and being curious and reaching out and doing that, which clearly I didn't make him hate humans, so that's good. And so everybody that came in, he was just very confident to check them out and say hello, and obviously wasn't worried that they were going to hurt him or treat him inappropriately. And of course, nobody does here, so it got reinforced. So yes.
And who's behind you?
This is Smudge. He's my pony that I worked with all week.
You're taking him home?
I am taking him home.
Yeah. And you wrote a little something for Smudge.
A little limerick.
Would you share it with us?
It goes a little bit like this. I came to Wyoming to come together with the world famous ROTH tribe, who is quite clever. It was glaringly clear that he wanted me near, so Smudge comes to my house forever.
What's your favorite thing about him?
This.
Yeah. Right.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
Quick learner.
Yeah.
Smart as a whip.
What would you say to someone pondering whether or not they should come to the course?
Absolutely the best way to learn about the language of equus, the wild horses. They never lie, they're authentic, they're honest, and connected. It's the best feeling ever.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
It's a gelding.
It's a gelding.